Now, okay,
Okay.
first of all, we want to thank everybody for coming again to Mom and Dad Talks. You know, my parents up here. Today we have a very, very interesting discussion here. And my one of my favorite things I love to discuss is about family history. Okay, so basically, this is a very there we go. Juneteenth, also known as Freedom Day. Okay, and people are saying, well, why is this important? Well, it's also called Jubilee Day, Liberation Day, and Emancipation Day. It's a holiday celebrating the emancipation of those who have been enslaved in the United States, originating in Texas. It is now celebrated annually on the 19th of June throughout the United States with varying official recognitions. Specifically, it commemorates, listen very carefully, it commemorates Union Army General Gordon Granger announcing federal orders in Galveston, Texas on June 19th, 1865, proclaiming that all slaves in Texas are free. Wow. A whole year after the war was over, there was still slavery. Now, and that's very interesting, right? So, a lot of times we talk about family history and we always think of negativity. Well, we're going to talk about some positive things. First of all, this house may look familiar to some people. The Minnesy family of Byron Township. According to Melvin Goolsby, a retired postal worker and avid local genealogist and historian, the Minnesy family moved to Michigan from Yates County, New York. Now, I want you to remember that Yates County, New York, about 1852. Goolsbury states that the father, Prince Minnesy, and two sons, James and John, were listed as residents of Yates County in 1850. However, there was no mention of a third son, William. He continued to dig and found out that William had settled in Gaines County Township, where he had bought an 80-acre farm. Goolsby states that the rest of the family arrived in 1852, and the records show William's brother James bought a farm in Gaines Township in November of that year. The Minnesy family remained in Gaines Township until 1866, where they moved to Byron Township. The Minnesy farm is at 4748 76th Street, is believed to be the only black-owned centennial farm in Kent County. William Minnesy bought his farm from William J. Hardy, who was the first black elected official in the state of Michigan. Why is that important? Because my great-grandmother was a Minnesy. This is part of my family history, and I thank God I have my great aunt here today. We can talk a little bit more about that, but this is something very interesting, folks. I want you to know something. Someone did some digging around of the Minnesy history here. This is just someone digging around. Because the Minnesy family actually started from New York. Think about that, New York. And this person traced back our ancestry to the exact location and residence of the last Mohican. And his theory is that the Mohican tribe did not die out. The bloodline continues on in the Minnesy family to this day. And the Minnesy family is basically an agricultural family. And basically, they're one of the founders, or they say they're one of the silver founders of Grand Rapids, Michigan. So we're going to talk a little about family history here, but that's really interesting. So they're saying that basically, you know, we've been in this country on the Minnesy side for a long time before this country was even founded by Europeans. Now, this is really cool right here. This is on my dad's side. Thomas Dungy and his sister Sarah in the 1880s, they were born in Virginia, the children of Richard Dungy and Nancy Penn. Sarah married Uriah Rickman and lived in Calvin Center, Michigan. Their sister Matilda, not shown here, we'll show it at another time, married to Samuel Hawks, a freed slave whose photo was shown at another, I'll show it at another time. The Dungy family descends from Frances Dungy, a servant woman who had mixed race children in Brunswick County, Virginia in the 1720s. Now, you're saying, Todd, why is that important? Well, as I dug around at the family history on it, because they do have a lot of records on the Dungy family, Dad, your family fought in the Revolutionary War as artillerymen, and it's documented. Several of your relatives. And you go about the Dungy family tree there, we fought basically every war this country has. And, you know, that part of history gets left out so much that people think that, oh, we didn't exist or we didn't contribute. We've contributed a lot to this country. And it's a shame that people want to say that we don't do anything for this country. And this history does not get written in history books. Now I know that, Dad, on your side, they have written in history books in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And I want to think that, you know what, folks, if you get a chance, get to know some history, real history. It was very powerful, and I got more stuff to show about my family, show it another time and stuff. But you know what? I love my family. They come from a great history. I just brought these two up because I got my Menacee side and my Dungy side here today, and I got more sides, but you know, I'm just bringing that out because it's kind of fun. But I'm going to ask my Aunt Welda. Aunt Welda, can you come up for just a second so we can see your pretty face? Aunt Welda?
She's babysit.
Wait, where are you, Aunt Welda? I just want to see you real quick. Okay, that's my aunt right there. Now, she is the daughter of my grandmother, great-grandmother, Menacee. Hey, do you remember anything about the farm in Kent, up there in Grand Rapids, Michigan, or Byron Township? Tell me about it.
Having family reunions. Yeah, we used to have that. I remember going to one there. Family reunion there.
And I think it's very important to have that family because you know what? It helps create camaraderie. So whatever history you're from, you got to know your family history. And why is that important? Because, you know, there's genes in our family. And good or bad, you can benefit from it. I remember when my dad sat down and talked to me about some of his family trees and some of the failings that his family had. And he said, son, I want you to avoid this stuff so that you don't get caught up in it. And I think it's a shame when people forget about their family and they try to not to remember everybody, the good or the bad. This is who you are. And like I said, I love my family. They're the greatest in the world, I think. I love them dearly. And they're powerful. So Christy, that's my cousin right there, everybody. Hi, Christy. Tell me a little bit more, because, you know, tell me about your experience, because, you know, you had different experiences. All right, Dad, where are we going with this?
Okay, hold on. I remember going to that property for a family reunion. I probably was around 6. No, I was a little older. I think it was probably 9 or 10, maybe 11. And I remember being there on that property. There was a lot of land. I don't remember how many acres, but there was a lot of farming land, and there was a lot of farming that was there. I remember that big white house. I remember playing baseball with the family. Yeah, I do have a good memory. We had a lot of fun. There were a lot of relatives that I had never met before that were there. I remember cousin Barry. He's from Chicago. Okay. I remember him and his wife and Mary. I remember going in that house. I don't remember much because I only went in it once, so I don't remember much about it. Yeah, probably that. I remember being in the kitchen. But it was a nice day. There was a beautiful sense of family and being amongst all these many relatives and looking up at all of that property and realizing all that my family had accomplished.
Wow.
And that was a wonderful feeling, knowing that my family did that.
That's
All right.
Wow, that's powerful. Hanty, what do you remember?
I was just talking with your mother, and there was and there's a picture that was taken. I think Mother wasn't in the picture, was she? So it was Daddy.
No, she was.
Daddy, you,
Eddie,
you,
three of the 5 of us.
Oh, and then Wayne or
Ford.
somebody had on a plaid shirt. I don't know, remember. But I was on the hood of the car, so I was probably 4, and I remember them saying that, oh, this family reunion is it's cold up here. And this was, and I imagine it used to be the second Sunday in August every year.
Was it Labor Day weekend?
And was it Labor Day? And I had on high top shoes.
Beautiful brown ones.
Brown ones.
Strengthening your ankle.
Yes. Yes. So what do I remember about the farm? Was that the original question?
Yes.
Yes, I remember that that it was a tradition, that how strong it was, that and it was important that we go every year.
Yeah.
But money was not an issue that, you couldn't go. You were going to the family reunion on the Jones farm.
Beautiful. Mom, what do you remember?
Not too much. Same thing Karen remembers.
Okay.
Sitting closing on a 49 Ford to take a picture. If I could, I might go up there and dig it out. But it was Daddy, and the three of us, Karen, Eddie, and myself, and Mother. And we were all in the picture. On this 49 Ford, and we'd go up there for several years, every year. And I don't know when it ended that we.
It was a big deal.
Yeah, it was. We looked.
Why did it end?
I don't know. Well, then we took it. Then we started taking it. That Thompson Menacee family reunion did come down here to Cass County for a while.
Is it still owned by the Joneses? Who owns it now?
Oh no.
I'm not sure, but I was just thinking of who would be a connection now.
Wilma might, if she could remember.
Before that, Betty Jo might remember. Curtis, her brother, he's got. Yeah.
Shirley Menacee would remember.
Shirley would.
She's in Grand Rapids.
Shirley would. Probably Ruth would too.
No, Ruth is not in Grand Rapids. Yeah.
She's not Grand Rapids.
She's in Down in Jackson. I asked yesterday.
And see what's amazing here, folk, is see family, collective, and good memories. I mean, some people have bad memories and stuff, but with great memories in that farm. And that's a historical reference there. So like I said, the Menacées come from a long line. And like I said, think about it. That bloodline that you're seeing right there in that room right there is some of the founders of Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's history, folks. That's just an awesome thing. So Dad, let's get to you real quick. Dad, tell me about some things about your earliest memory of your family, because like I said, when I did the research on it, you have a long line of history. And even when we went to the graves site of our family graves, a lot of your relatives fought in the Civil War in the colored infantry.
Right. The 101 colored infantry. The earliest thing I can remember is going up to our family reunion in Remus, Michigan. And it was always at School Section Lake. And I remember as a young boy going up there and meeting Mers Tate. And Mers Tate is in the history books as she was the first PhD.
Yes.
She was the first Black PhD. And you did some interesting history about her service during World War II.
Yes.
And how in World War II she was, I guess, a spy or something like that for the United States. And she was stationed, I think, in Germany, was it? Or anyhow, she was stationed somewhere overseas as a spy. And at that time, it was very unusual for them to have a Black woman as a spy.
Exactly.
And she was a spy, and I think that's documented. I think you documented that. And later on, Mers Tate was one of the first PhD at Howard University.
Right.
And I remember up at Western, I went to a program because she donated $1 million to Western Michigan University. And meeting her there. Yeah.
And like I said, it's a wonderful thing to know your history. It's wonderful to get back because it can help you, inspire you, and make you move forward. And so, Juneteenth, as we remember this past Friday and stuff like that, is a very powerful moment for every American, not just African Americans, but especially for us, the freedom of people, to make sure that this country remains true to its creed. And like I said, for the history books, you're seeing a lot of history here today. And I really, really hope that you really enjoyed today. I want to thank all my family for showing up today. Thank you, cousins and auntie and mom and
great auntie.
I love you guys, and uncle, and of course Ginger. And last part, Aunt Welda.
Yes.
Before we leave, you have anything you want to share with us or share with people historically, or just something?
Now you should have something to tell us.
You're the oldest living member right now. Anything?
She can't remember.
Yeah.
Just give her a minute to get herself.
Just give her a minute. And don't call my aunt on the spot.
Give her a couple.
Anything your earliest memories of Kent, Grand Rapids, or anything?
Well,
Well, I think it probably isn't significant to anybody but me. But one time, going up there with my parents, this was not during a family reunion time. One of my cousins, he had a tricycle, and I was on his tricycle, and he didn't like it. I took a piece of wire and he put it around my neck. I mean, it didn't kill me or anything.
No, we're glad.
No, obviously he didn't kill you because you're still here.
But anyhow, I'm kind of a revengeful type person.
Color, what color was that?
That was not. I don't have to
You should remember his name. now.
Yeah, I remember his name. I have to think
Is he dead?
I don't know.
What did you do?
So the next time I went up there for a reunion,
Mhm.
I said, I'm gonna pay you back, brother.
Uh-oh.
And I pushed him down the saddle. Oh, whoever's standing around that saddle. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And you got your cousin back. Oh my. Well, you know,
Wow, that could have killed him.
No.
they
Right around my neck, that
didn't play like we normally play
One on the
today.
Sabbath was it?
No,
You pushed him?
Different time frame. But before we go, I gotta let you know, my aunt right here, everybody. I believe she did some work for a guy. I know you did some you create because you're a seamstress, and I know you did stuff for Barry White. Didn't you create like a jacket for Barry White?
I didn't really create one. I think I altered it.
Yes, you altered it for the great late singer Barry White, and she also did stuff for the Gap Band and did some
SOS Band.
SOS Band. Sorry, but thank you, Christy.
So it's an SOS Band, and she also was a seamstress for the late great Galanos.
Oh,
See?
yeah.
So
Galanos.
people get to know your family today because everybody has a wonderful story and a wonderful page, and you can learn from it. So thank you for coming today with Mom and Dad Talks today, and I hope you enjoyed yourself and have a blessed day today. Thank you.